very glad you guys are here. So, we're gonna do the as fast as possible recap of the story of Yakuza 5 so far. Because we don't want anybody missing out. So, Kazuma Kiryu. We started with Kazuma Kiryu. I mean, if we go chronologically, let's start chronologically. So, before the events of the game take place, we started out. Oh, let's go full chronologic. Fuck. Until I get confused. Before the game begins, Taiga Seijima and Goro Majima are chilling out the night before Seijima is due to return to jail. Cool, that happened. Alright, before the events of the game, Kazuma Kiryu and Haruka Sawamura were at the orphanage, the Morning Glory Orphanage, which is a really choice name for an orphanage. And Haruka got scouted by one Mirei Park, a talent agent in Sotenbori, who found Haruka in Osaka and was like, hey, she can come be an idol, but you have to step out of her life, Kazuma Kiryu, because you used to be a Yakuza. And also you want the best for your orphanage, don't you? So Kiryu was like, fuck, alright, fine then. Off you go, Haruka. So Haruka went off to Sotenbori to become an idol with one Mirei Park. In the meantime, legendary Yakuza, Dragon of Dojima, former Tojo Clan 4th chairman, Kazuma Kiryu, just fucking goes to Nagasagai in Fukuoka, to work as a taxi driver. As he did, one evening he was visited, sorry, I have a little bit of crisp left. He was visited by I accidentally closed the tab. No, I didn't. He was very mysteriously visited by one Daigo Dojima, current chairman of the Tojo clan that he used to be a part of, and also his, friend, kind of, maybe. I don't know. Y'all might remember him from Yakuza 2, the guy with the big puffy white coat. Feeling himself. He hears Daigo come in, and is kind of, asking advice and whatnot. And Kiryu, who was going under the alias Taichi Suzuki, working as a taxi driver, was like, nah, I'm leaving that life behind. Also, if I go back into that life, I don't want to ruin my sweet baby girl Haruka's career as an idol. However, with the Yakuza being the way it is, Kiryu soon learns of the disappearance of Daigo when a couple of dudes called Morinaga and Aizawa, come to his door, letting him know that one Daigo Dojima has gone missing, and they know that he was the last person to talk with them. Or that, they were friends, they probably know where each other are. So they question him about it, and they learn that the chairman's disappearance, Daigo's disappearance, has caused a rift between the Tojo and Yamagasa family of Nagoya. Nagoya? Not Nagoya. Nagasagai. My bad. What's up, Tachil? How you doing today, friend? We are going through rocket tour of the story so far, but I hope you're doing well. Let us know how you're doing. While Daigo was disappeared, a man by the name of Aoyama, Daigo's underling, very quickly decided to take up interim chairman position, and suspects that the Yamagasa of Nagasagai may have kidnapped Daigo because he was due to meet with them. Kiryu is trying his best to not get involved, and succeeds initially. However, later on, Kiryu is stopped by a mysterious Osakan detective. Mysterious Osakan detective man. Got a week off work? Yeah! Heck yeah, dude, enjoy! Yes, we bumped into mysterious Osakan policeman who says that he's keeping an eye on a man of the name of Watase, who is the patriarch of the Omi Alliance's Watase family, who, for whatever reason, decided to travel to Fukuoka a little bit before Daigo's disappearance. And so he's the easy suspect, right? The policeman also warns Kiryu Kiryu that Morinaga and Aizawa also suspect the same of Watase and could make a move on him, which could potentially spark a war between the two clans, which he doesn't want. Nobody wants a war between the Omi and Tojo. We've seen the amount of destruction that can happen when that happens. Despite Kiryu trying to like not get involved, he finds Watase, who recognizes Kiryu, and says that I came to Fukuoka to meet with you, Taichi Suzuki, if that's even your real name. Let's fight! And Kiryu says, nah, mate, not worth it. Because Watase just wanted to fight someone who he deemed was a worthy rival, aka the Dragon of Dojima, former 4th chairman of the Tojo clan, Kazuma Kiryu. Kiryu lets the others know that he doesn't believe Watase is responsible for Daigo going missing, but instead that maybe Aoyama, the guy who is suspiciously fast interim chairman, could be the one who is involved. Mr. Detective Osaka. Exactly. Because Watase also revealed that Aoyama had been secretly feeding him information on Kiryu and Daigo's movements. Ooh. So, everyone travels to the Yamagasa family headquarters, where Aoyama is meeting up with the patriarch of the family. As it turns out, Kiryu had a little bit of a good notion with Aoyama being the bad guy, because as soon as they arrive and find him, Aoyama shoots the fuck out of our boy Morinaga. Potentially to death, we're not sure. By the time we go outside and we find Aoyama outside, the whole fucking place explodes. So we're pretty sure Aoyama is guilty of something at this point. And he very clearly says to Kiryu that he intends to take over the Tojo clan, go to war with the Yamagasa family, and take all their shit so they can have enough shit to defeat the Omi Alliance. Because that's never gone wrong before, has it? The Yamagasa captain Yahata comes along after Aoyama frames Kiryu for shooting the patriarch of the family. I've already forgotten that name. Thankfully, I have a guide, but it's not helping me that much. The Yamagasa family. Yes, because he also got shot. Aoyama shot the fuck out of everybody. But thankfully, Aizawa and Morinaga are alive. Well, potentially. But Aizawa gets Morinaga to the hospital. Boom. Fucking boom. Kiryu goes back to his apartment where he finds his girlfriend Mayumi, and she reveals that she's a spy for her dad, the patriarch that Aoyama just shot. What? So she takes Kiryu to go and meet her father, Mr. Madarame, and he basically says that he's gonna dissolve the family because they don't want a war with the Tojo. Nobody needs a war with the Tojo. But Kiryu comes up with a bright idea and is like, yo, I got a different idea. Tells the captain Yahata of his plan. Pardon me. And he's going to try and stop this war between the Yahata family and the Tojo clan. Yahata sets up this massive confrontation between the Tojo and Yamagasa families. It's just like hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of dudes. As they arrive to meet, everybody's present. We've got Yahata, the captain, Aoyama, the traitor, and Watase, the guy from the Omi Alliance who just wants to fight Kiryu, because him and Aoyama are blood brothers, which is also important. Kiryu comes along being like, yo, stand down, Tojo clan. And the Tojo's like, but wait, you're our guy, what the fuck? And Kiryu is like, hey, I'm a civilian. I'm civilian Taichi Suzuki. So if I get involved, like, this ain't a Yakuza thing anymore. If I take all your asses out. So Kiryu decides to take all their asses out of the Tojo clan, betraying his own past family. Aoyama, currently shitting his pants, tries to shoot Kiryu, but Watasa's like, that's not very fucking nice. That's not very fucking honor, and beats the shit out of his blood brother, because his blood brother done did a cowardice. Aoyama lets slip, however, while Kiryu is literally beating the fuck out of him, that somebody else is the actual traitor of the Tojo clan, and he's just the guy orchestrating it all. But before he can reveal who the traitor is, he is shot in the face, in the back of the head, by who we can only presume to be the real traitor. He done chicken shitted. He certainly did. Kiryu really fucking let him have it too. You know, because Aoyama killed our friend Morinaga. And maybe Aizawa. And also almost the captain of the Yamagasa family. And we were mad at him because he killed all of those people. However, the person that shot him in the back of the fucking head was you, Morinaga, him fucking self. So we had slightly less reason to be mad at the guy that had just been murdered by the person we thought had murdered a person we thought was good. But they're not. They're a traitor of the Tojo clan. Yay! We were like, what the fuck, dude? Also, where's Aizawa? Where is Sweet Bean Aizawa? You two were like joined at the hip. And Morinaga said that he'd buried Aizawa halfway up a fucking mountain, which I sincerely hope is not true because Aizawa was such a very sweet bean. So, Morinaga, full traitor asshole over here. And he's like, yeah, okay, bye. And manages to escape. Couple days later, Kiryu is in big sad boy hours. When a certain detective comes along for another little chat and is like, hey, I just want to stop the war between the Tojo and the Omi Alliance, alright? And if I do, like, I'm gonna look like such a cool cop, right? And then Kiryu's like, no, I can't get involved. I am civilian Taichi Suzuki and I'm a taxi driver. And then Osaka detective says, well, okay, might want to listen to the news though. So Kiryu listens to the news and hears of a shooting in Sapporo where one very notorious YAKUZA member had been murdered. One fucking Goro Majima. Part 2, Taiga Seijima! So we started off with a flashback of Taiga and Majima. It's too soon. And Seijima is about to go back to prison to kind of, you know, do the rest of the jail time for doing trying to kill some people in the last game. It's fine. Majima says, you shouldn't be such a fucking softie, man. Like, if I'm ever such a softie, I deserve to die. Which, with the past news freshly in our minds, was a very painful thing to hear. However, just before the events of the ending of Kiryu's chapter, Goro Majima is not capable of death, right? Right? I like that phrasing a lot. So, Taiga Seijima went to Abashiri prison in Hokkaido with his new busy mates, Himura, a corrupt former police detective, Oshima, a professional thief, and Shigeki Baba. Where are the boys? Here we go. Himura, we got Oshima, and Baba. Who was just supposedly a bean who did a murder. We weren't sure how he could have done a murder. It was weird. Anyway, everyone in this lovely bean group was being harassed by this fucking guy who'd only been there a few months called Kugihara, who really likes eating wounds. I wish I could get that cutscene out of my head. As you can see, Kugihara is it's an interesting character, a little bit angry, messing with the group of good lads. However, one day, we go in to find Kugihara, a couple of his bros on the floor, and Baba holding a knife, being framed for attacking Kugihara and his bros How dare they frame Sweet Bean Baba? Anyway, so that happens. Saejima gets in a fight with them. Kugihara then lets it slip that somebody actually told him to hound Saejima and goad him into fighting so that he wouldn't be granted parole. Because the whole thing is, they behave good and Saejima can get out of prison. Which, very soon after, becomes more of a priority when Saejima hears about the death of his blood brother, Goro Majima. The article that they're reading informs them that not only has Goro Majima died, but he died during an alliance negotiation with the Kitakata family in Hokkaido. Seemingly on the orders of the patriarch Kitakata. So, Saejima is later kind of talked to by Mr. Policeman Kosuka, being like, who is notoriously hateful of the Yakuza. And he says, well, I still want to release you for paroles, but like the Ministry of Justice told me not to let you out. And also a lot of Yakuza inmates are coming in and it doesn't really make sense. I think someone might be trying to kill you, Saejima. Anyway, bye. Oops, I dropped a key to a snowmobile that'll get you out of prison. So, Kosuka makes sure that Saejima and Baba, whose paroles are both coming up, to help them get out before the Yakuza kill them, that are all inside the prison now. That night, they leave the cell open. Saejima and Baba make their way out. However, once again, Kugihara getting in the damn fucking way, and loads of his new Yakuza inmate friends tried to fucking stop them. Thankfully, just before Kugihara can kill anyone, Himura comes out with a badass fucking nature and murders him. Yay! Kugihara's dead. He did manage to shoot Kosuka on the way as well. But apparently he's alive according to this, so it's fine. So, Saejima and Baba manage to break out and flee into the wilderness with one of the snowmobiles. However, bear. So they get stuck at a hunting village and are saved by a man named Okudera, who helps them out before they both leave to go back to Hokkaido in Sapporo. Okudera also had a cool story about being, I think he used to be a Yakuza and then someone came after his life and then they didn't kill him and then he took on that person's personality and it was a really cool story. And we did a lot of hunting to survive. Cool beans! So, we arrive in Sapporo, and are basically looking out for Patriarch Kitakata, see if we can meet up with him to figure out what happened with Majima dying. What's the best way to do this, one would wonder? Well, Saejima and Baba, in one of the funniest fucking cutscenes in this entire game, decided to do a Goro Majima in his honor and use the manhole cover to very sneakily somehow kidnap Kitakata during the Snow Festival celebrations as there are airplanes going overhead. Amazing. Kitakata lets them know that he didn't kill Majima, but rather helped Majima fake his death so that he could go into hiding because... Wait, did we know that? Yeah, we did. Sure. Okay, that's the bit I missed. Yeah, so he's like, I don't think Majima's dead because they're trying to find the traitors in the Tojo clan. However, as we're about to find out more very useful information, Baba shoots him in the head. Well, someone shoots him in the head. Turns out to be Baba. Baba then attacks Saejima because it turns out he was the one who planted the fucking Kugihara in jail, and he's been working for the Yakuza the entire time. Oh my god, it's all crazy. Yeah. They fight. They're arrested by one Osaka police detective, who has come to Sapporo to investigate Majima's death and the possible connection to the Yakuza war brewing in Kansai. At the same time, the detective tells Saejima about Morinaga's plot to kill Daigo, and that he should probably go to Tokyo to discover the truth, which is the running theme of how we're all here. Okay, in the meantime, we're Haruka Sawamura, up-and-coming idol in Sotenbori. So, I can do this one pretty quickly. Most of it is just working up to becoming the best ever idol through the Princess League. It's all good times. We're doing dance battles everywhere, all over the place, and becoming closer with our manager, Mireille Park. Although she was a very interesting character. She was either lovely or really fucking horrible. Majima coat, Final Fantasy 14 Glamour when? Yes, we need that. Yes. Yes, so Mireille Park getting closer with Haruka and eventually lets her know that if, Haruka wins this Princess League contest, that will be really great. But also, I've arranged this whole massive concert in Tokyo so that she can become big famous, live the life she never had, etc., etc. She's also like, basically, I'm gonna go meet up with my ex-husband in Tokyo because he sent me a letter after he saw Haruka win the first round of the Princess League. But Park doesn't think she's gonna be able to make it. So she says, Haruka, you should probably go and meet him, all of this good stuff. Here's a pen that also probably opens the lock to my safe. Cool beans. The next day, we learn that Mireille Park has supposedly committed suicide. At the same time, one Shun Akiyama, loan shark and owner of Sky Finance, rolls into Sotenbori to open a new branch, and he learns that Park-san has committed suicide. Fun fact, Akiyama had loaned her the most amount of money he'd ever loaned anyone, I believe, so that she could put on the concert for Haruka. He hears about the occurrence, travels over to the offices, and says that he's just gonna go and search for the money. It would be his responsibility. Park was cool, she was hardworking. Let's go see if we can find justice. As he does, he bumps into Haruka, and they're like, wait, what are you doing here? So they both decide to go on a little detective spree to see if they can find out what happened, because it's very unlikely that Park tried to kill herself. As they are looking for evidence for, disproving Park's suicide, they see Horie, Haruka's other manager, falling off the rooftop past the window. As they get there, they find Ogita, the old fired choreographer, standing there trying to do another murder. So we beat the fuck out of him, and then we find another Yakuza man there called Kanai. He, supposedly deciding this was the best thing to do, is just stage another suicide, also fought the Jiro, and Haruka very thankfully had a fire extinguisher and Yota at his head. It was incredible. And the two carried on their journey to find out what was happening. At the same time, Akiyama was looking for who could have made the fake suicide note. Thankfully, the person they found was a fan of Haruka, so they let them know. Ogita and Kanai came to him on the night of Park's death and requested that he prepare the fake suicide note immediately. And they figured out it was fake because Park hurt her hand because the old choreographer pushed her over and all of this stuff. Anyway, they didn't know exactly who had ordered this fake note or who had ordered Kanai and Ogita to do what they did, but they suspected the president of Osaka Talents, the rival agency, Katsuya. So, they all went to meet up with Katsuya. Where is he? There he is. Katsuya. Yay. Then we do more idol stuff. We win. Yay. Yeah. This guy is like, I wouldn't do all of that for fame and fortune. That would be crazy. Also, here's a lot of money. Stop investigating this. You know, like a really innocent person would do. Which Akiyama notably rejects. Meanwhile, Akiyama is later visited by one Osakan detective, who tells him that this is a lot going on, and the guy that you're looking at, Kanai, yeah, he's a big ol' Omi Alliance man. He's a big ol' Omi Alliance man, so you should probably not look into any of this any further, because the Osaka Enterprises is real big and real dangerous. And Akiyama's like, fuck yourself, and goes and tracks down the operations in this base operation just outside of Soshinbori. Later on, Akiyama finds a very, very he doesn't have an arm anymore, I believe was the detail. Ogita doesn't have an arm anymore. Because, you know, torture. So Ogita was heavily indebted to Osaka Enterprises, and after Park fired him, he couldn't pay them back. So, he did a job for them, paid back the debt. Find the girl, wipe away the debt. All that good shit. Kanai is looking for... Oops, where is he gone? There he is. Kanai is looking for the letter from Park's ex-husband for her, but can't fucking find it. So told Ogita, if you get the letter, like, I'll wipe away the debt and shit. Park refused to give Ogita the letter, and so Ogita accidentally, supposedly, killed her. Kanai was like, you fucking idiot, staged the suicide, and something similar had occurred with the manager as well, when we saw him fall past the window. Oh, lots going on. Kanai comes along, kills Ogita, and questions Akiyama, where's the fucking letter? Akiyama's like, I don't fucking know. And Kanai's like, well, that's okay, because I've kidnapped Haruka, and she'll have to tell me now. Mwahaha! And then Akiyama's like, no! And then we see Haruka having been kidnapped by Kanai, and Kanai's boss walks in and is like, you fucking idiot. That's the dumbest shit you've ever fucking done. I'ma take her back to the offices. We find out that Kanai had been hired by Katsuya. Surprise, surprise. Who very quickly brought Haruka back to the offices and was like, I'm sorry. My dude's a fucking idiot. He wasn't meant to kidnap her. But yes, I am indeed also the patriarch of Osaka Enterprises of the Omi Alliance. And also, then he left. And we found out then, we found the letter in the safe, all good. And that's when we found out that Parks' ex-husband, who the Omi Alliance is trying to track down, is none other than Goro Majima. Dun dun dun. He then threatens Haruka and is like, I'll fucking kill everyone if you don't give me that goddamn letter. Haruka's like, fair enough. Thankfully, the new choreographer overhears this. Akiyama intervenes. That didn't happen. Yay. Also, we've got a concert to get to in Tokyo. So let's both go on a road trip back to Kamurocho. Yay! Shinada! Completely irrelevant man! We've never met him before. 15 years ago, he was one of the best batters of the Nagoya Wyverns. He was fresh to the team, came out on the pitch, fouled 6 of the bats, the pitches even, and then hit a home run. And that is when his baseball career weirdly ended. How weird. He is banned from baseball forever on suspicion of reading signs and all kinds of other illicit stuff to do with betting. And his coach also leaves. The whole team is revamped. And 15 years later, Shinada is writing for a nightlife magazine, doing all the sexy times, and he finds out that his old coach, Coach Fujita, has been hired to work for the Gigants, which is the rival team, which is weird because, like, there was that whole, like, betting scandal and whatever. But anyway, so Shinada's having a rough time. He goes to Milky, his favorite erotic lady, and does his job, all of this good fun stuff. However, the poor boy Shinada, he needs money. He needs a lot of money. He needs money for, I believe he needs money for Uno. He owes money to Uno, who used to be the massage therapist, for the team and now does erotic massages. And also, where has he gone? There he is, Takasugi, the loan shark, who is a bit grimy, but yeah, he owes a lot of people a lot of money. Ushijima. He goes to his friend Ushijima, who's a chef and restaurant owner, to try and get some help, get some food. And Ushijima reintroduced him to baseball, and he can go and get prize vouchers from there. Cool stuff. Shinada manages to get the money. However, his loan shark friend Takasugi takes it off of him and threatens him with sending the Nagoya family of Nagoya after Shinada if he doesn't get the rest of the money. What sort of insane person would kidnap Kiryu's orphan child? Right? It was such a bad idea. Even his boss, who is probably evil, was like, that's a really bad idea. You know, you shouldn't have done that. Shinada goes home and is confronted by a mysterious masked man who tells Shinada that he knows about him and his past and that somebody actually framed him for game fixing 15 years prior. The masked man has a real interest in finding out who was behind the framing and offers to pay him 20 million yen if Shinada offers the truth. Shinada's like, bruh, I just want to fucking move on. Takasugi turns up and is like, well, you do owe me money. I need that money, so you've got to fucking do it. Shinada's like, okay, hey, Milky, let's run away. And she's like, no. So he is basically forced into finding out who did it. Him and Takasugi and Uno try and think about who could have done it. They try and think why someone would have done it. And Uno lets them know that Shinada figures out that the Nagoya family of where they live must be the ones framing him because they basically got both the Tojo clan and the Omi alliance out of the city in one fell swoop. So, they tried to convince Takasugi to take them to the leader of the Nagoya family. But Takasugi is like, well, you know that thing I said about, like, the Nagoya family coming and beating you up and stuff? Yeah, that was all lies. I don't actually know them. It's just an intimidation tactic. Before they can argue, someone puts a lot of gas in the clinic. So Shinada chases down the arsonist and finds out the person who was trying to set them on fire was one of his only old remaining friends from baseball, a man by the name of Sakai. At this point as well, we'd had a few Looney Tune run-ins with various large pieces of furniture trying to kill Shinada. And unfortunately for Sakai, he also saw Shinada about to be hit by a falling mixer, like cement, a whole ass fucking cement mixer. Sakai thankfully managed to put Shinada out of the way and ultimately died. Because he got a cement mixer to the head from a high distance. it was pretty fucking rough, not gonna lie. The next day, Shinada gets a call. Because everyone's like, don't look into this, Shinada. It's a really bad idea to look into this, Shinada. Shinada gets a call from Milky, his bae, who says her brother has been kidnapped and, oh no, they're coming for me. As they're about to go and rescue them, they also hear that Uno has been attacked as well. So Takasugi goes after Uno and Shinada goes after Milky. As Shinada goes after Milky, he's bonked real hard in the back of the head. And by the time he wakes up, he's being confronted, by all his bros, including Ushijima, Milky, the guy who owns Milky's erotic establishment, and also the woman who works at the baseball stand. Really, really randomly. The group reveals that they are indeed the Nagoya family, and rather than a Yakuza, it is a group of small business owners who are constantly terrorized by the Omi and Tojo back in the day. They claim that they needed to set somebody up for game fixing so that they could ruin the two Yakuza clans' gambling rackets and free the city from them. Shinada was the fall guy because he was the newest, least valuable, and was innocent, basically, in all of it. So he was the easy scapegoat. Ushijima is then like, well, you've got to die because no one can ever know the truth. Blah! And a guy turns up. Well, he's not there. Ooh. Oh no. Isn't it man? No. Oh, okay then. A guy turns up and is like, I'm the boss probably. I'ma kill you. And just before that can happen, Takasugi, in the fucking best moment of the game, rides in on a fucking forklift with a fucking fire extinguisher to save Shinada. They both fight their way through Kabuto's goons and manage to flee. Shinada is a very sad being because all of his friends from the past 15 years and before have all fucking betrayed him. See the theme? There's a theme going in this game. Shinada wants to give up on the investigation because everyone who he thought was a friend was not. But Takasugi is like, yo, if you find out who the leader of the family is, you might, you can get your life back on track. You can get your reputation back on track. You can be a baseball player again. And that is when Takasugi reveals that he has been a long-time Shinada fan and stan, and it's adorable. However, they are both interrupted by another person they went to ask about investigations, Manabe, who was also on the team. And he reveals that he was also in the Nagoya family in their conspiracy. Shinada fucks him up and convinces him to reveal the identity of the Nagoya family's leader. Shinada becomes even more heartbroken when he learns it's none other than his old captain, Fujita. So, the next day, all of the Nagoya family members turn themselves over to the police, confessing to having framed Shinada. Shinada is contacted by the mysterious masked man, who gives him his 20 million yen, and reveals himself in the biggest plot twist of the game to be none other than Taigo Dojima. Dun dun dun! Who went to high school with Shinada before he went to juvenile because he kept beating up people on the opposite baseball teams. But he's like, hey, I thought the Nagoya family did all of this and kicked us out the city, but I needed someone on the inside to investigate. So I thought you would be perfect for that because I love you, bro. And also I think Fujita is working with someone else behind the scenes against the Tojo clan. So we need to go to Tokyo to confront him, but not you because you're already in danger and I don't want you to be in danger anymore because I love you, my boy. But take this money, when I've talked to Fujita, I can repair your career, you can be a baseball man again, you won't have any debts left. And Shinada punched him in the face and was like, You fucking Yakuza trying to fix... You broke shit, all my shit with your Yakuza shit, and now you're trying to fix my shit with Yakuza shit. I don't fucking want it, bitch. So they fight, shirtless on a roof. It's great. And Daigo very reluctantly agrees to take Shinada with him to go and meet with Fujita. As the two are preparing to depart, Shinada gets sees a notice in a newspaper from his old friend Sawada, who was also on the baseball team, and he has a very quick moment of enlightenment and has to run to the Nagoya Stadium, leaving a very bemused Daigo on the train. Shinada goes to the stadium and confronts Sawada, who tells him the truth, which is that years ago, the current chairman of the Omi Alliance discovered Fujita's role in the Nagoya conspiracy, with all the betting and whatnot, and game fixing, and used it to blackmail him into using the Nagoya family to start fixing games in Nagoya once more, but for his benefit. The chairman used the money from the gambling scheme to raise to the top of the alliance. Recently, the Omi chairman has been plotting something big and needs all the money he can, so he arranged for Fujita to become the new manager of the Tokyo Gigants, so he can fix games there as well. Sawada was in on the fucking whole thing and has come to warn Shinada because they were bros, and you know, all of this nefarious shit will get us like lots of money and stuff, but I don't want you to be dead, but the Omi Alliance chairman kind of wants you dead. At that point, the Omi Alliance arrives and tries to kill them, but together, like good bros, they fuck them up. They bat a few balls together because Sawada is the guy that pitched the ball that Shinada hit that he wasn't supposed to hit. That was a big thing. This summary has forgotten. If Shinada had not hit the home run that he did, everything would have been fine. However, Shinada is a very good baseball player, and that is ultimately what got everyone to turn on him even more. Sawada was like, how the fuck did you hit that ball? So they play baseball together, and he's like, oh, well, the first time we ever played, you threw a fastball that fucked me up. And so when we got to the big leagues, I was just waiting for the fastball that you would throw, but you were throwing all curveballs because my coach told you my weakness. Why did you throw a fastball? And he was like, the coach told me to give you a chance, so I did. And we were like, why the fuck was that? He's like, because you're a good baseball player, Shinada. Anyway, so they have friends. Yay. Anyway, Shinada then departs, heading for Tokyo with Daigo Dojima, and trying to stop the Omi chairman's plot, which would ruin his favourite sport, and we can't have that. And that was not a very quick summary at all, but now we're all caught up, and I feel slightly better for it. I hope you guys do too. We know what's going on. So now, we have arrived in town with one Taichi Suzuki, aka Kazuma